So start in part 1 and we write down the distribution. So the distribution will be normal. Our mean is the same, but we have to adjust the standard deviation. So remember, when we're writing in normals, we deal with variance. So variance would be 5 squared, and we divide by the number of observations. That means our standard deviation is now 5 over root 40, which is the square root of 0.625. Part 2, if we find our z value first of all, so it's the x value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation, which gives us 1.897. So let's go to the table. So adding that on, I get 0.9711. 1.8, 1.89 gives us 0.9706, and the 7 tells me to add on 5. So if we draw a quick graph, then we have our area 0.9711, but I want greater than, so I want to the right, so my answer is 1 minus 0.9711, which gives me 0.0289. Part 3 then, if we think about the modulus that x bar minus 40 is less than a, is x bar minus 40 is less than a and greater than minus a. So we are looking for a region here, and that has to be 70%. That means that either end has to add up to 30, so this is 15% and this is 15%. But what do we know about our normal distribution curve? We go from this point right across to the left, which tells me I'm interested in an area of 0.85. And going to the table, I get a z value of 1.036. Now before I go any further, we need to go up to the top and consider very carefully what we're dealing with here. In the middle I have x bar minus 40, but my curve is based around x bar. So if I add 40 to both sides, I'm trying to find my value a. So remembering that the z value is equal to the x value minus the mean divided by our standard deviation. So the 40 cancel one another out, and I'm left with a is 1.036 multiplied by the square root of 0.625, which is 0.819. If we look at Sia's mark scheme, I just set my work out slightly differently based around how we teach US 1. So we're finding z values, not leaving it in terms of the probabilities, we're drawing the graph. And then down at the bottom here, it can be quite difficult to see why this is a over, and it's because we're dealing with the means. So we have to be careful. This is x bar minus 40, but our curve is x bar. So I've adjusted in a different method to Sia, but we all end up with the same answer at the end.